Ready to rock and roll. We should be live on YouTube. How's everybody doing today? Heading out to a different part of the SF Bay Trail where I will be presenting 5 pre-recorded videos starting tomorrow on Monday. Throughout the entire week, you'll get a new Walking with Purpose in 4K at 60 frames per second from the same trail I am walking today. Those videos were recorded last week on Tuesday. A little insider information for those of you that pay attention to my live streams. Hey, Lewis, how you doing, brother? Can you hear me clearly and see me clearly, Lewis? Is it all good in the hood, bro? Let me know. Let me know, and we should be ready to rock this thing, Lewis. Lewis says yes and yup. How you doing, brother? Happy Sunday to you. What's going on in your neck of the woods in Texas this evening? It's late afternoon here in the beautiful, glorious, amazing San Francisco Bay Area. It is about 67, 68 degrees. Got my jacket on because it gets a little bit cooler. A little chilly when I hit the trail right by the water. And we are heading there right now. Yeah, I've done many streams here before and pre-recorded videos. I love this part of the SF Bay Trail. It's over by the Bay Club here in San Carlos, which is right next door to Redwood City. San Carlos is a city right next to Redwood City, one city north. I said it before, this is like the most premier athletic club on the planet. I don't even want to see what their monthly rates are right now and the startup fees and all that. But I mean, like I've said before in the past, and to anyone new here, this is like a 10 out of 5 star athletic club. It suits the cost of living here in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area, perfectly. And if you can see, the sun is out. I mean, it's a beautiful day. It's beautiful. It's a great day for a walk. Someone's coming on the sidewalk, so I'm going to come up on the grass, get a little more exercise. I typically wear my hiking boots on these walks. They just give me more stability, and if I have to go off-roading a little bit, I'm all set to go. All right, let's let's go back down. I got a great topic for you folks here today, especially to you guys out there that are, you know, seeking a real relationship, or you're already in a real relationship and you want to be in one. You're not playing games, you're not a player, you really enjoy the company of a woman and you want to build something that could potentially lead to marriage and stuff like that, right? This today is going to help you get there. Because a lot of guys, when they get with a woman, they really like her and everything's all good, they have no idea where to take her on dates or what to do, right? And what typically happens is these guys just kind of become complacent. They become lazy. They typically will just invite their girlfriend over to just hang out at their place, right? Their apartment, their home, whatever. And, you know, that's not exciting at all. That's definitely not exciting to a woman. And quite frankly, to a healthy, decent, average man, that's not exciting either, right? But we have a lot of men today in this modern world that are being raised differently. They're coming from broken households or households that didn't do a lot of family activities together, right? And what I mean by family activities, like vacations, going camping, or going to the beach as a family, or going on hikes as a family, or nice walks at the park. Like, there are guys that come from families that never did those types of things, so they have no idea, what's really out there, and, what's exciting to a woman, and, they have no idea that there's actually more fun things to do than just sit on your ass at home and play Xbox or PlayStation all day, right? And let me tell you, one of the biggest complaints I hear from women nowadays, even women my age, even women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, is they're with a man that is obsessed with their Xbox or PlayStation. And what I will say to you guys that are obsessed with your PlayStation or Xbox, why do you have a girlfriend? If you're more obsessed with your Xbox than going out of your place and doing something outdoors with your lady and spending time with her every so often, then why are you even with her in the first place, right? Because you occasionally need a little sexual healing, like Marvin Gaye, like the late Marvin Gaye used to sing, right? Because you need someone to keep your place clean or cook for you. Well, I mean, you think women are going to stick around if you keep behaving that way? And a lot of you guys think that, just because women are liberated now, okay, that they're still going to be the same way they were before they were liberated. You're wrong. And here's the thing. Even before women were liberated, there were more homemakers, right? I mean, men used to go out and hunt for food and do things. They weren't lazy like men are today. Men have become extremely lazy, complacent, feminized. The problem, like I keep saying, and people just don't believe me. Maybe one day, guys will just start to really listen to this, right? The reason why many women are unhappy nowadays are because of the way men are showing up or not showing up, all right? And even when guys complain about women have more options on dating sites, women get more attention on social media. Well, who the hell's giving women all that extra attention? It's you guys. You guys are doing that. You guys are so thirsty and desperate and needy and weak and insecure. And you're so desperate to, try to get a response from a woman clear across the country or clear across the world. That's cute. That puts out an Instagram picture or a picture on Facebook or wherever. She's just seeking to get likes, right? You guys are so desperate for that, right? And all you're doing is validating her, you're just validating her. That's the bottom line. And nothing ever comes out of it. I actually saw a video today where, give me a second here, people come in. I actually saw a video today where this one dude was private messaging or DMing. They call it direct messaging nowadays. They don't even call it a private message anymore. They call it direct message, DM, right? Not PM, private message, it's DM, right? So this dude saw, I guess, a picture of a cute woman. And this woman was talking about on TikTok that this guy was private messaging her every day saying, "You're beautiful, princess," or something like that, right? And the lady would say every so often, I'd say, "Thank you," or he would say, "Good night, princess," is what it was. It was "Good night, princess," right? And then The guy didn't message her for one day. She got used to it, even though she didn't care about him at all, right? Because she's getting so much attention from other people. The guy didn't message her for a day, and she's like, I kind of missed it when he didn't do that. Yeah, because you like the validation. You want to know that you've got it. You're not necessarily interested in him or the majority of any other guy DMing you, right? But you like the validation knowing that you've still got it, right? And that's what these women do. They go out there and they seek validation. And it gives them a temporary sense of satisfaction. Now, I'm coming across a bunch of people here, so let me just move on by. I think some guys are fishing or hanging out here. And then there's a lady up ahead with her kid on the bike. I'm just gonna let some people pass for a second. And let my space clear up a little bit here. I'm already feeling like I'm gonna have to use the restroom at some point when I get down to the other area. We'll find a place to use the facility. So anyway, it is you guys that are so thirsty and you're validating these women. That's why they have so many options. That's why women have become extremely flaky and picky, because you thirsty beta males have given women practically unlimited options, right? And this hurts guys that aren't weak, needy, desperate, and insecure. This hurts guys like me. Now, I have a lady now and I'm very happy, but when I was single, let me tell you, before I met her, it was, I was dealing with the repercussions of the beta males that overly validate and overly inflate the value of all women. No disrespect, I respect women, but that's what these thirsty beta males are doing. They're giving these women a false sense of extremely high value, no matter what they look like, or especially if they look good, that's even worse, right? So by the time these men come around the type of guys that they actually are attracted to and want, you know, guys like myself, right, that take care of themselves, they put us through the ringer, right? They try to control the situation because they know if it doesn't work out with us, they've got 10 other guys just like me waiting in the queue, and then another 100 or 200 guys that are betas waiting further down the road in the queue, right? And that's what social media has done today, you know? So let's get into the actual topic portion. That was just a little prelude to, you know, this show here. But you guys have to know what you want before you put yourself out there. And before you know, even care about how to excite your woman on a date, you have to be excited about your woman deep within. And you have to know that you're with her for the right reasons. Okay? If you're just looking for a hookup or something casual or something that's non-committal, it's not a committed thing, this is not going to matter. But if you believe in relationships, if you're a guy and a gal that believe in relationships and you want the commitment and you want to find someone and date and court someone with the intentions of possibly getting married, have a family one day, or just getting married and being together, right? This is what you need to do. I'm going to share that here with you today. So, let's get right to it. Actually, before, let me read what Lewis wrote. I did set up my live stream for the morning starting at 11 a.m. Central Time. That's 9 p.m. So that's 9 a.m. Eastern, Lewis. Hopefully I'll be around. That is quite early for me, to be honest with you, because I am 2 hours behind you. I typically will get up somewhere around 8 o'clock, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes 8:30. It just depends on what's going on the night before, if I stream the night before, or have a late night conversation with my lady that goes overtime, which is not a bad thing. We enjoy those conversations, right? So typically I'm just about making my coffee around the time you're streaming. I haven't awakened yet. But I will do my best to try to make that. Now, if you're still on, an hour or so after that time, or an hour and a half after that time, then I should be able to pop on in. Or maybe, Lewis, we can even set something up that starts later. Maybe something like 11 a.m. Pacific, which is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Time, your time. If you want to do that sometime this week, I would be open to it. Now, I am going to be hanging out with my lady one day this week. We're going to figure that out tonight. I think it's going to be Tuesday night, and I'm going to spend most of Wednesday with her because that's her one day off this week. She does work in retail management, and it's a busy time of the year. She's working 6 days. She's working OT. And I'm encouraging her to work OT because you make more money, you get time and a half. And the more you work, the more money you make and the less time you have to spend money, right? It's a double benefit. Yes, it gets tiring, but hey, I used to always do that during the holiday season when I worked in retail and retail management and retail corporate. I worked OT. Any opportunity I could get. Try to make as much money as possible. It's the name of the game, right? So anyway. So let's get right to it. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. The Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the San Francisco Bay Trail near the Bay Club, the 10 out of 5 star athletic club here in the San Francisco Bay Area, San Carlos, California to be exact. This is episode number 181. I have a few people coming on by. I'm going to tone it down for a second, be respectful, professional and mature, that is, as well, right? And today we're going to be talking about date ideas that excite women and keep women interested in you guys. Date ideas that excite women and keep women interested in you. Okay? A lot of you guys don't understand that keeping a woman interested in you goes above and beyond the physical attraction that definitely needs to be there when you first meet each other and see each other, right? So you have to get past that stage of, are you physically attracted to each other 100% or close to it, right? When you first lay eyes on each other. Let's say you've gotten to that point and you started hanging out a few times, you've been intimate together, right? And how do you get to that point, right? You get to that point by, most people use dating apps nowadays. You connect with somebody online, you exchange numbers. I always strongly suggest that you have one phone call, 30 to 60 minutes, and that way you can hear each other's tones of voices. You can also ask each other questions regarding what you like and don't like to do for fun. That's the phone call where you can get a pretty good idea if the woman you're talking with, guys, or the guy you're talking with, ladies, is going to have a chance of being compatible with you. Because, yeah, there may be physical attraction within the pictures, and that may end up being there as well in person, but that's not all that matters. I always ask women, in the past I did, like I said, I'm dating a great woman right now. I've got someone that's coming on the opposite side of the trail. And I'm going to just pull off to the side. I think it's a foreign lady that's walking on the... No, she's walking on the other side. Let's just wait for her to pass. She's on the phone. We're going to wait 1 second here and show you some beautiful views while we wait. Here is the thing. If I was on these hiking trails and I wasn't broadcasting live, I would not be on the phone with anybody. I would be just enjoying the beautiful scenery, right? The only time I'm on my phone when I'm out here is when I'm broadcasting live or recording videos. But I see so many people, they just cannot walk the trail and enjoy the sounds of nature and just enjoy some peace and quiet. They feel they have to multitask and talk with someone, right? Anyway. So, when you're talking on the phone, you can find out, what the woman you're talking with likes and doesn't like, and she can find out what you like and don't like. An example, I ask women, do you like walks at the park? Do you like hiking? Those are some of my favorite things to do. And if she doesn't enjoy those things to a certain extent, that's almost like a deal breaker to me, right? Do you like nice dinners? Do you like some dinners with some hole in the walls at times? Do you like a combination of both? I enjoy doing those things. Do you like romantic weekend getaways? I enjoy doing those things, right? I talk about that because I want to get an idea of what they're interested in. This is when I was looking, obviously. For example purposes, right? So at that point, if you connect with a woman, not only, you're physically attracted to her picture, she's physically attracted to yours, and then you're on the phone and you like similar things, at that point, you want to meet as soon as possible, see if the attraction, chemistry, physical attraction is there in person. You'll know within a few seconds of meeting, right? And at least have some smoochy or some kind of sign of affection that the woman is into you guys. Because women that are into you guys are going to be affectionate with you right away. Right? Women that are in a good place mentally and emotionally, have let go of all the past, and they're ready to move forward, and they're completely attracted to you physically and all that. Even on a first date, they will not be afraid to show you some signs of affection. Because a lot of women have realized, and it's the truth, that if you don't show a man on the first date some sign of physical interest, you will more than likely not get a second date. Why? Because we know, us guys know for a fact, that physical chemistry is important to a woman. Sex is important to a woman too. Even though they try to play it off like it's not, it is, right? And women's emotions, like I've always said, are in the present moment. Women always respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. So they're going to see immediately if they're physically attracted to you or not, and they're going to know if they feel it for you or not right away, right? And women that actually feel that are going to want to express it to you before that first date ends. Now, as the guy, most of the time you're going to have to initiate it, and if you do, and she feels the way I just said, then she'll show you, right? And sometimes some women will give you a little clue. They'll come and put their arm around you, or they'll, rub your shoulders and try to say, dude, I'm into you. What's your next move, right? It's like a game of chess almost, right? I got to use the restroom here in a second. I'm going to go off the air here for a few folks to use the restroom, and then I'll be back, so don't go anywhere. But yeah, if a woman's really into you, she's going to show you, right? So I'm just kind of giving a little preface, step by step, of how this happens, right? For the guys out there, and even the gals, but this is more so for the guys, so they need a little more help. For the guys out there that are truly seeking a life partner, somebody to have a relationship with that could lead to marriage, maybe a family, etc., right? These are all the steps that you have to go through, and this is what needs to happen along the way, right? And if this is not happening pretty much almost in the exact ways that I mention it, then it's not meant to be. So let's just say it was meant to be. You both talk on the phone, and you have similar interests of things you like to do for fun, right? You meet in person, there's physical attraction, there was some affection on the first meeting, not necessarily sex, possibly sex, it could happen on the first date sometimes, but at least some sign that the woman is interested in you, maybe like some kissy or huggy or touchy, whatever, right? Some sign, right? So you've gotten past that, right? So you now both know that you're physically attracted to each other and you like each other. Where do you go from there, right? What is the next step? I'm going to save that until after I use the restroom. Queen Helen Casey takes the weekends off, so she's not here to, come at me saying, you're drinking too much coffee, Eli. I just love coffee. Many people drink coffee. There are a lot of great health benefits to drinking coffee. But it also, keeps you awake. It stimulates your mind and your body. I don't like drink like tons and tons of coffee. I will drink half a pot to 1 pot of coffee a day. I used to drink 2 to 3 pots of coffee a day. I've really cut down a lot on my coffee. And it's not because I've even wanted to cut down. Like, my body is just requiring less and less coffee to function. And I think that's primarily because I've started walking more and more every day. I've been just more and more active. I've always been active with walking and exercising and stuff. But I went from exercising 2-3 times a week to like 5 to 7 times a week. It's all natural energy. I think I'm going to come over here. Folks, I will be back in just a few minutes. Lewis, are you still around? Let me know if you're still around there. We should be back live now. Lewis says, yeah, you got to watch out for the coffee. If you drink too much, it will make you jittery. Been there, done that. It is not a good feeling either, to be honest with you. Well, Lewis, I'm actually pretty used to intaking, a lot of caffeine daily. My body is used to it. My body actually requires probably a lot more caffeine than the typical average person. So, and I've been that way since my younger days. I mean, I've been drinking coffee probably since I was like 12 or 13 years old. And I mean, I'm going to be 48 in a couple of weeks, like 2.5 weeks or so. My body hasn't changed in the way it processes my caffeine intake since I was 12. So, everybody's different though, Lewis. Everybody has different genes and everybody has a different tolerance to different things, right? But anyway, we're back. We're all good, right? So let's continue and talk about some date ideas that will excite your lady and keep your lady interested in you. Okay? So you've established the connection there, the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual is there. You've gone on a few dates. You've had sex already. The sex is good. Everything seems to be great, right? So where do you go from there, right? Many guys in the modern world nowadays are like, okay, it's all good. She likes me. I like her. We're great. We're just going to hang out every so often, and I'll invite her over, and we'll have sex and hang out on my couch. Maybe order some DoorDash or something, or order some takeout, right? You think that's going to keep a woman around? And quite frankly, even if it did keep a woman around, is that the way you want to live your life as a man? Does that excite you as a man? Because you see, a lot of guys nowadays come out and say women expect too much. They expect us to take them out and go and do things, right? And go and, on walks and hikes and do romantic things and go to dinners and do all that. Well, do you not enjoy that as a guy? Because I enjoy those kind of things independent of women. Like, I like doing those things even when I'm single. The only difference is when you have a woman around is you have a romantic life partner that you can enjoy all those things a little more intimately. Let me explain to you what I mean. You know what I really like about walking and hiking. Like, let me just show you this trail here again, okay? You see, it's a nice, beautiful dirt path that goes right along the wetlands of the San Francisco Bay, right? And on the other side, there are homes that are facing the water, multi-million-dollar homes. We don't have to get into that. We've done that before. Not a big deal, right? Okay. Now, I enjoy walking these hiking trails on my own. I enjoy recording videos out here. I also just enjoy walking out here and just enjoying the fresh air, kicking in those endorphins, and not even having a podcast on or listening to music. I just enjoy walking it on my own. But let me tell you, what I even enjoy more than that is having a nice lady, nice, beautiful, sweet lady that enjoys trails like these to walk along with me. I'll tell you why, guys, because this is the one thing you don't realize. And many women have come to me and shared this with me. How can we turn guys around to understand this one thing? A lot of guys are emotionally closed off, or they're emotionally unavailable or emotionally unaware, right? They're not able to be in touch with their emotions. And there's nothing wrong with a man being in touch with their emotions and being emotionally aware and bonding and connecting with a woman emotionally. If you can't bond with a woman emotionally, then why are you even with her, right? A lot of us guys, have been suppressed from sharing our feelings because of the social stigma. Maybe we were raised in an environment where we were forced to be, men don't behave that way, right? Men don't share their feelings, this and that, right? And that's the furthest thing from the truth. We should be sharing our feelings. We shouldn't be, overdoing it and vomiting our feelings to everyone, including our woman, all the time. But there are times where men need to do that. It keeps us healthy. It keeps us normal. It keeps us regulated. Kind of like women have their periods, and some of them will take birth control to regulate their periods, right? This is what keeps us guys regulated. Talking about emotional things at times and letting it out, right? And there's no one better to do that with than your lady, because your lady wants to bond with you emotionally, right? So when you're I'm on the upper trail right now. You'll see more of this later this week in some pre-recorded videos in 4K 60. But there's an upper trail and a lower trail. I'm on the upper trail right now. I'm gonna stay up here and feel like a king for a little bit, right? When you're on a hiking trail like this, the amount of benefits you get doing it with a special partner you may be dating are above and beyond doing it on your own. So this is what you get when you're on a trail like this, okay? You get to burn calories and stay healthy and fit, or lose weight and become healthy and fit. You get to kick in those endorphins. That's called the feel-good hormone. I'll tell you, if I go even one day without walking, I can tell the difference regarding how I feel the rest of the day and evening than when I do. I can tell the difference of when I do and when I don't, which is what I'm trying to say. Another benefit being out here, you get to think about things and brainstorm and, plan, some future events that may be in regards to your business or your personal life, etc., right? So when you do that on your own, you get that benefit on your own. And when you're with a woman, you get that benefit, but you also get this additional benefit as well. And this is one of the biggest benefits I've gotten out of walking. Now there's somebody coming up on the upper trail running. So we're going to move back down to the lower trail. Yeah, right there, you see. The biggest benefit that I get when I walk a trail like this with a woman is, and I'm going to admit it, guys, because it's the truth. It doesn't make me less of a man or make me sappy. It's the emotional support. Guys need emotional support too. We have emotions, and we want our emotions to be heard as well. Even though most normal, decent guys are strong, emotionally strong men, we still have emotions that at times we need to let that emotion go. We need someone to talk about shit that we're going through emotionally as well, right? And our friends don't want to hear that shit, right? Man up, you're a man. Man, dude, come on, dude, be a man about it, right? You go to your family, they tell you the same damn thing, right? But if you have a good woman that really is into you and really admires you and respects you as a man, she's going to want to tap into your emotional side. And if you really care about her, you're going to want to tap into her emotional side as well. If you don't emotionally bond, with the partner you're with, if the man and women are not emotionally bonding, it's just not going to work out. It doesn't matter, even if everything else is there, including the sexual attraction and the sex is great. You've got to emotionally bond, right? So when I'm on a trail like this, and I'm going through some things, let's say it's regarding my business or my family or something that, I want to talk about, I suck it up, right? But then when I'm with my lady, I enjoy sharing that with her because I feel she's probably the only one that's really going to truly care enough to hear about my feelings and my emotions and my wants and my needs, right? Because I care about hers too, right? Now, you can't be selfish in this, guys. You can't sit there and, um, start dating a woman and she starts to like you and you're not really into her, but she's a great emotional support for you. You can't sit there and use her for that. You gotta you gotta do your part as well. If you expect and enjoy the emotional support of the woman you're with, you got to give her the same thing, right? You got to emotionally support her. And quite frankly, women won't even care about your emotions, or they won't even be willing to emotionally support you and listen to you unless you are there for them in that way first. But again, like I said, getting out on these walks, especially with a lady, it's a completely different feeling than just being out here on your own or with your friends. I would rather go hiking with a woman or walking with a woman or exploring. I'd rather explore anywhere with a woman than with my guy friends because it's just a more emotionally bonding experience. I feel that women are open to hearing a lot more about things than my guy friends are, and that's how a lot of men are, right? And as an added benefit, when you can bond with a woman at that level, like on a walk, like I am on here, or like I'm out here right now, right? And you connect, and then after the walk, you go to a nice dinner, you fill your tummies, and then you spend the night together. It is a great segue into amazing romance and intimacy. I'm not even going to call it sex because it's so much more than that. It's romance and intimacy. I know that may sound stupid to a lot of our modern guys out there, or even guys my age that once believed in that, but because they went through a bad divorce or dated a couple of women that didn't work out, now they're angry and bitter. So they're like, oh, Eli sounds stupid. That sounds so stupid. We like to fuck. We like to have sex. We don't like to make love and share intimacy. Well, to those guys that think that way, that's a big insecurity because let me tell you guys and gals, even to you strong men out there like myself, there's no better feeling than having real romance and intimacy with a woman. Sex is so much better. You get turned on more because all the work you're putting into the act of intimacy, which is what I'm trying to say, you feel it's worth it as a guy because you're putting in that effort to somebody you care for and want a life with and enjoy being with truly. Yeah, I can't wait to release those videos this week. I even took some 4K footage at 60 frames per second of this area here. Look at this grass. Now, this live stream's not going to really do it as much justice because YouTube broadcasts the live streams at 720p, 30 frames per second. It's still okay, but when you see this in 4K over the course of the upcoming week with my new pre-recorded videos I'm going to release this week, you'll see the difference. By the way, I'm open to free topic suggestions until the end of the year. I'm offering free help to anyone that wants to send in their stories as well. You can do it anonymously and I'll answer, your story or situation in a pre-recorded video or on a live stream from the studio, that is. So from now until the end of the year, I'm willing to help anyone free of charge and take free topic requests. Normally, it's $19 for me to take a topic request video. And, excuse me a second. And for half an hour of phone coaching is $49. So, I'm not giving away phone coaching for free at this time. I've offered that in the past. But I am offering people to share their stories by email for free, and I'll respond to you free of charge. And I'm also taking topic requests for future videos or live streams free of charge now until or through December 31st, 2021. It's a nice, beautiful bench right here. Let me just sit here a second. It's a really tiny bench. Like, I'm going to show you how tiny this damn bench is. I hope I can even sit here without breaking this thing. Oh my God. I mean, I'm a pretty thin guy. And this thing, oh my God, this thing was like made for kids or something, because I can feel the wood sinking in a little bit. But the perspective I have from sitting right here, this is my perspective. This is what I see beneath me right here, right below me, as I pan up. And this is what I see. Plane's passing by right now. It's beautiful perspective. All right, let's continue, because I got to start heading back before the sun starts to really go down. I'm almost halfway down on this. So one dating idea is go on a nice walk like this with your lady, or go on a nice hike. Now, here's the thing. Most women love the outdoors and love hiking and walking, but some women are able to tolerate more of it than others, meaning that some women can do certain levels of hiking and walking, other women not as much, right? And so, you got to take that into consideration. I love the toughest hiking trails. And I love rolling hills, and like this hiking trail here, this is more like a walking trail, but it is considered a hiking trail. This is like super, super easy, right? I like hiking trails that have like big rocks you have to hurdle over or climb over, rolling hills with 6% grade inclines and declines. And I like long hikes. I like hikes typically at least 6 to 8 miles, and I've done hikes as long as 15 miles in one day, right? Now, the woman I'm with has had some minor health issues that she's getting under control through the doctors and stuff. And for the time being, we aren't able to do any strenuous type of, hikes and stuff like that. So what have I done? We've incorporated some, easier walks yesterday. Her and I. We went to a park in an area where she used to live. That's probably about a half an hour from where she lives now. We went to a nice park in the South Bay that has a lake in the middle of it. And, we walked about 3.5 miles. That satisfied me, and it didn't overdo it for her. And about halfway through, after we did about 1.5 miles, she was starting to get a little bit winded. And this woman is in really good shape. She just had some unforeseen health issues earlier on in life, and she's been getting it under control. And she's just due for a checkup to, see if anything further can be done or different medication can be taken. And she's going to be going to see her doctor within a few days in December. But I understand that about her, and I'm totally cool with it, even though I would prefer to do some more strenuous and crazy hikes, right? I'm not going to take her somewhere where she'll never come back from. I care about her, right? You know, she's not in the position at this point to do those hikes, so I take that into consideration, right? And here's another thing. You know, when you're first starting to date a woman, it should be you as the man that is making the plans. Now, it doesn't mean you don't take her thoughts and feelings into consideration. Women nowadays, they're independent, right? And they want to be a part of all decisions. But you also need to make sure they respect you as a man. So you still need to be the leader. And initially, like, I've been with this woman now for almost 3 months. And I would make all the plans. And over the last couple of weeks, you know, she started to kind of not complain, but kind of tell me how she feels. Like, you take me to nice places. I just want to go to a hole-in-the-wall place that still has good food, but we don't have to spend as much money like you do. And I just want to spend more time with you. And we don't need to just, you don't have to, you know, make it overly extravagant. And I took that to heart, right? Because, you know, I'm the kind of guy that likes to take my lady out and show her the best freaking time every time. That's just who I am. And it's not even about the money. It does cost some money, but, you know, I'm used to doing that. That's what I enjoy doing, right? But we had planned to meet yesterday, my lady and I. I was running a little behind. And I sent her a text and I said, can you do me a favor? Can you find a place for us to walk? And I'll meet you there. I relinquished the control. And it wasn't even a control thing. I've been with her almost 3 months. She knows I'm able to make plans. She knows I'm not lazy. She knows I'm not complacent. So now at this point, I'm like, okay, I want to make her happy. Because quite frankly, I don't really give a shit where we go as long as we have a good time together. I don't care, right? And I think she's trying to tell me the same thing. That's when you know you have a good one, right? So she picked this park. I met her there. She also picked a restaurant. We went to the park. We walked for 3.5 miles, even though she was kind of, you know, she was starting to get a little queasy after 1.5 miles. She said that might be enough for me for today. I said, let's just take a break, baby. We took a break, and guess what? We went another 2 miles after that. After that, we went to a restaurant of her choice. It was a pizzeria. And it was pretty affordable, actually. Still spent about $60 with tip, but got enough food for the next several days. Ordered a large pizza, ordered some appetizers, and took 2/3 of the food to go. I sat there, I was talking with my lady, and I'm like, you know what? I really like this place. I really appreciate you suggesting where we walked today at the park. It was beautiful. I enjoyed your company. And I'm enjoying the restaurant here. And I understand where you've been coming from. And I told her, I said, you know, I have no problem with you making suggestions, right? As long as you understand that as a man, I have no problem making dates and making plans. Nowadays, most women are making the plans because most guys don't know how to make a date, and they don't know where to take a woman. So the woman is doing that, right? And the woman I'm with now was doing that with her 2 previous relationships, right? And all I wanted to make it clear, or all I wanted to make clear to her was that I don't have a problem with you making plans whenever. I just want to show you first I'm capable of doing it. I'm not a lazy guy. And now that we've been together for almost 3 months and we really know each other a lot better, I don't care if you suggest it every time. And even when I would, make plans in the past, before this Saturday in the past, right? I would always say, hey, babe, how does that sound to you? Or do you have a better idea, right? We are almost halfway through. We are at 56 minutes right now. It is it's probably around 4:05 or 4:10 p.m. So I'm going to have to start heading back. We're going to go to the end of this trail here. There are some people up ahead, and they're just walking at a very leisurely pace. Oh, I thought I had that there. Some other date ideas. Romantic weekend getaways. Okay? It doesn't matter where you live. Doesn't matter even if you live in a rural area, which is what I'm trying to say. There's always something fun to do in a nearby urban area within at least a couple hours of where you live, no matter how far out in the boonies you are, right? And one of my most favorite things to do when I'm in a relationship is a romantic weekend getaway trip. Now, the woman I'm with now doesn't have weekends off because she's working in retail management, but we can do the same thing on weekdays. And because I'm self-employed, I can alter my schedule to, fit her schedule as well, right? And down the road, she doesn't plan on doing what she's doing forever. She has other plans, and, we've kind of talked about that, and that's as much as I'm going to say about that at this point. But when that changes, then she will have weekends off. Then we will have weekend getaways, right? But that's another way to excite your woman and keep her interested in you. And it's not even about the money or getting a fancy hotel room or anything. It's about the thought. It's about getting away from the monotony of everyday life and choosing her to get away from it all with. Right? Makes a woman feel special. Like, look, I like I like weekend getaways because I just love getting away in general, right? I enjoy breaking the monotony. But if I can have a beautiful, sweet woman that I care for and enjoy being around and have some loving and intimacy and great conversations along the way and while we're there and on the way back, even better, right? Even better. Nothing better than that. So those people are turning around. I don't know how far the other people are going to go. This trail does go around for another half mile, but then it ends and you have to walk through some residential. Eventually they're going to connect the entire SF Bay Trail around the bay. It's going to be about 500 miles long. And at some point down the road when that's done, probably in the next 10 years or so, I'll still be running this YouTube channel, and I'm going to walk the whole thing and broadcast it live and take some pre-recorded footage. That'll be awesome. So romantic weekend getaways are, in my opinion, great and necessary to keep the fire burning. And I just personally, as a man, enjoy them the most. Now, I typically like going walking and hiking on part of those romantic weekend getaways, but that you don't have to do that. I suggest that you do some form of exercise or hiking or walking whenever you go away, because typically when you go away, you're going to be eating, some really good food. You're probably going to be eating some carbs and some dessert, right? Because, when I go away on a weekend getaway or something, I typically will break my diet. And I've worked hard all week, and I want to spoil myself, but I also want to spoil my lady a little bit. Spoiling in a good way, right? And in order to keep your body burning the fat and staying healthy and fit, if you're going to eat like that, you got to keep exercising. And that's what happens with a lot of people. They go on vacation for a week or so, right? They eat like crap. They don't exercise at all. And they probably gained about 3 to 5 pounds, which doesn't make them look horrific, but then it throws them off their exercise regimen when they get back home. So then they keep eating like crap, and they continue to not exercise. They get out of their regimen. Next thing you know, you put on another 20 pounds in a month. Now you're 25 pounds heavier than before you went on vacation. And I think about those things, right? So I do prefer on a vacation or a weekend getaway to have some form of, physical activity outside of the bedroom. Now, the bedroom will be there too, but some physical activity outside of the bedroom, at least for an hour or so each day. Walk a couple miles, right? Like, I've even, with some exes in the past, I've even, walked through some major downtown areas while out of town for a couple, 2-3 miles with that particular woman. And that was my exercise, our exercise for the day, right? You can make exercising fun. Now, my favorite type of exercise is being in nature, being on trails like this and being on more nature type of trails in the woods and stuff. But you can also walk through downtown areas and stuff like that have beautiful scenery or interesting things to see and make it interesting, right? And then as you start walking closer and closer to different buildings that you see from afar, it continues to propel you forward, right? And what you're not even realizing at the same time is that you're burning calories and you're actually exercising. You're getting in some good cardio. So that's another thing that, it's something that will excite a lady, weekend getaways. Because most men are not doing that anymore nowadays. That's another thing. If you do, for a lady that you start dating, this is after you've established physical attraction, you've been intimate with her, and you've been seeing her probably for at least a couple, 2 weeks or a month or so, right? You don't do this after the first date or anything like that, right? Maybe date 3, date 4, date 5, right? And after, you've been intimate a few times, right? But yeah, do things that most other men are not doing, right? If you do things that most other men are not doing, you're going to stand out, right? Now, most men don't understand, relationships and dating, especially in the modern world, as much as I do, right? But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that if you actually get out and do things with your partner, instead of just sitting on your ass playing Xbox or PlayStation all day and being lazy and then inviting your partner over to hang out at your place while you do that stuff, if you don't realize the difference between that and actually getting out and doing something, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe that's why you're single or in a sexless, unhappy relationship, or maybe that's why you're either about to be broken up with or you've been broken up with for this, right? It just amazes me how many men out there, they want a woman, but they don't want to do shit. They don't want to do anything. And they expect her to do everything. That doesn't make any sense, right? Might as well get yourself a robot, right? I've already created some female robots nowadays that, can give you the girlfriend or wife experience. I mean, might as well, right? I'm not into robots. And I don't want to be with a woman that is robotic. I want to be with a woman that's herself. She's going to have her high moments, her low moments. I'm going to have my high moments and my low moments. And together, we're going to balance each other out. Together, we're going to support each other and work through all of our trials and tribulations together as a team. And I will tell you this. One of the interesting things in life is the uncertainty of everything, right? What makes things interesting and exciting is not knowing what's right around the corner, not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, but living your life like, hey, whatever happens, happens. We hope for the best, right? There's a guy with his kid over there, an Asian gentleman, probably a tourist, was walking slow, and then he pulled his son off to the side. And you've got a bunch of women there that are hogging up the entire trail. So you've got 3 women there going on a walk. They look like they're in probably their 40s, maybe some in their 50s, right? And they look like they live around here. And it is a weekend, right? And anyone that can afford a house out here is not frickin' working weekends. Is working a high-tech job Monday through Friday. Where are their husbands at, right? Where are their husbands at, right? Oh, they're probably watching football, right? But I'll tell you, I love football too. I love all sports, but I've actually cut back my consumption of watching sports on TV significantly. Why? Because I'd rather get on the hiking trail and do some exercise. I'd rather get out and do something on any given day than sit on my ass and watch the TV all day, regardless of what's on there, right? Now, with our special games like Super Bowls and playoffs and World Series and all that stuff, sure, I'll watch that. But it just makes me wonder. You got those 3 women there. They're probably all married, and their husbands are probably all hanging out together, watching football, sitting on the couch, and enlarging that already large beer belly, right? I've seen a lot of these high-tech people. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of them are in decent shape. Some of them are big on fitness, right? And most companies encourage fitness to the point of where they even put like a fitness center at the job site, or they even have like a fitness trail, because some job site campuses are pretty big around here. But there are a lot of out of shape people in the high-tech industry, right? Those ladies are probably sitting there, talking smack, saying, wish my husband was a little more romantic. I wish we had a little more sex. Like, it's just not the same. We've had a couple kids, and, he works during the week, comes home, he's tired. And that's the beginning of the end right there. That's how people get divorced, right? That's how people fall out of love, right? Another thing that I've talked about before, I've given you folks, some pretty decent examples of things you can do to excite your lady, dating things you can do, or places you can take your woman on a date that will excite her and keep her interested in you. Give me a second, some people are passing by. But what I'm going to throw in here as an additional aspect is that, I've said it before, I'll say it again, a lot of the things I talk about over and over again because repetition is the mother of skill, and maybe you folks will learn them after I've mentioned them 100, 200, 500,000 times, right? That once you get married, the dating and courting process never ends, right? First of all, if you're dating a guy and he's not dating and courting you and going out on regular dates and, going on nice walks, like I said, and, doing some touring around different areas, weekend getaways, nice dinners, and stuff like that. If that's not happening on a regular basis while you're dating, why would you marry someone like that? Well, some people just settle because they can't find someone that wants to settle that makes enough money and stuff, right? That's what happens with a lot of women nowadays, is they settle for the beta male provider, right? Right? But even if you're dating a guy you're attracted to and you felt something for, right? You're going to know, everything about that person for the most part before you get married, right? So why would you marry someone that's complacent while you're dating them, right? But let's say you have a man and a woman and everything's great and they're happy being together and they want to get married and have a family, right? Okay? Once you get married, you got to continue to date and court your wife like you did while you were dating her before you got married. Once you have kids, you need to continue dating and courting your wife just like you did before you had kids and before you got married. And it's much more challenging nowadays because women are working too. Women have been liberated. They're independent. Women want to work. Most women want to work, but they also want to find a man to have a family with, right? What happens when the man and the woman work and they work opposite schedules? I know many women I've talked to, including the woman that I'm with now. That's why she ended up in divorce, because her and her husband both were working great jobs, making very good money. They worked opposite schedules, and they hardly saw each other. And they had kids, so any free time that they had together, it was about the kids. They never got to date and court each other while they were married as they did before they got married. And what happened? They ended up in divorce. A lot of people, especially women, before I met this woman, and in between other relationships while I was on the dating market, a lot of women were intimidated by me, right? Because I ask questions that get to the point. I want to know as soon as possible. I would want to know as soon as possible if there was a possible connection or not. So I would ask for these women's numbers, right? And what were women doing? When I would ask them for their numbers, the majority of them would say, "Oh, I prefer to use the built-in phone on the app. It's safer." I'm not interested. If you don't want to give me your number, then you're not investing in me. You're not willing to take that chance. And you also know that even with cell phones, people can block their numbers. But nowadays, also people can do background checks on you with cell phone numbers. If that's the case, get a Google Voice number, right? But even if somebody finds out where you're at, most people are not going to do anything. Most people that get people's numbers nowadays are doing background checks to make sure that that person is a sane person as best as possible before they meet them, right? Do they have a criminal record, or, you know, if you find out where their Facebook is at and other profiles, you can kind of see how they've been living their life, right? And I used to do that, before I met this woman I'm with now. I used to do that because it got to the point for me, I didn't even want to waste a half an hour or 15 minutes on the phone with a woman that I could have eliminated just by looking at her Facebook profile or running a background check and seeing if she has a horrible criminal history, or, if I could find something out that I knew, was going to be a deal breaker before even investing time on a phone call, right? So yeah, it is very, very important to, date and court your wife in the same ways as you were dating and courting her before you got married. Right? Coming up, somebody's up ahead here. They're walking pretty slow, so I'm gonna have to walk fast to pass them. I'm gonna keep it quiet for a few because I don't want to scare them. I'm gonna start to boogie because the sun is really going down. I'll show you. Give me a second. I want to get further ahead from this woman. And she started to pick up her pace. She was walking at a pace where I would be walking alongside her if I didn't walk faster to pass her. And I don't want to interrupt her with my video here, or my stream. Alright, we're good now. That gave me a little good pep there. Alright, we are at 78 minutes. An hour and 18 minutes. I was thinking about doing a live stream from the studio tonight, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to push it. I'm going to continue resting. I've got a long week ahead this coming week. I have not decided yet if I'm going to do some more Walking with Purpose pre-recorded videos. I may do some Driving with Purpose car chats, right? Some car chats with Coach Eli. Probably some bedroom chats as well. I don't know. I may end up just doing some calling it bedtime chat with Coach Eli, and putting out those videos. Maybe releasing them, right before bedtime. I would probably release them at about, what would be a good time to release them? People typically go to bed. This is the problem. When you have a global audience, it's really hard to release things that are kind of time sensitive, like bedtime chat. You want to get that right before people go to bed. Typically, most people go to bed between 10 and 11 p.m., right? Let's just take 11 p.m. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. That means I would have to release these videos at 8 p.m. And the thing with that is, if I decided to go live from the studio on those days, I have those videos scheduled to be released at the same time as I'm live, and so that kind of defeats the purpose. But another thing I was thinking about doing is if I do some live streams from the studio, I release the bedtime or before bedtime with Eli videos right after the stream is done, which probably will be around, between 12 midnight and 1 a.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to take an Epsom salt bath later this evening and do some brainstorming instead of going live from the studio tonight, because I got to figure this out before I get down to business tomorrow. Mondays are days where I come up with 5 topics, create 5 thumbnails, and then I'll batch record my pre-recorded videos at 4K 60 frames per second, and then even add a couple of extra fillers for the current week. And so yeah, this is like boom, boom, boom. It's like very, very time sensitive and very strategic, right? So I'm giving you folks a little insight. Those of you that actually watch my entire live streams, I don't expect a lot of people to watch all of these. The average view duration on these live streams are pretty low. And some of it has to do with the fact that people are thumbing me down. It's not happening as much though, because I think the trolls are finally realizing that a lot of their thumbs down don't stick. But I see them still massively thumbing me down, and then the next day, like literally 70% of those dislikes are removed. But they're still trying to thumb me down every day. And I know they're watching me. I know they watch my stuff. Or they have one person watch it and they send timestamps to the relative aspects to everyone else, right? That's what they do. It's all good. So, yeah, I'll figure out if I start before bedtime with Eli or something like that tomorrow, or card chat. I mean, folks, I really, really want to start pounding out a lot of videos. Another thing that, another thing that is affecting what I do. Oh, there are people coming. Okay, they went on the lower trail. Thank you. That was very nice of them. Thank you. So I was on the upper trail. I didn't even notice, but there were a couple ladies with their dog, young ladies with their dog. There's that dude with the so that's the dude. See, that's the dude with the electric skateboard. There he is. Look at that. I was talking about this guy in one of my videos that I put out, I think yesterday. This dude is on a motorized skateboard. And this is a weekend. So he's doing it for leisure, but dude, you're getting no exercise benefit. Now, he's actually in pretty decent shape. But still, even if you're in good shape, you want to, move the muscles around the joints and get the blood flowing and all that, right? And that's why I do it. I maintain my shape, first of all, by doing this, and I'm also trying to lose a little bit more. I'm trying to really tone up a little bit more, like I more so was in my early 40s and even in my 30s and 20s. But even at my nominal weight, I always work out for other reasons besides just trying to keep the weight off. It just feels good. The endorphins make you feel good, and you keep the joints loose Keep the blood flowing, the heart pumping, right? I've been on this upper trail for a little while, and it's a clear path. So yeah, what I was going to say a second ago is that on YouTube, and this is stuff that's not even written anywhere, but I follow the Creator Insider channel. I follow all the channels where YouTube employees make videos about what's happening behind the scenes at YouTube, and that's how I know everything. I know everything about this platform. So YouTube only allows 3 notifications to be sent out within a 24-hour period for every channel. That means if somebody subscribes to your channel, bangs the bell, taps the bell, and then selects all notifications, they will get a notification every time you go live or publish a pre-recorded video. Okay? But if you put out more than 3 videos in a 24-hour period, the 4th video will not send out a notification. They do that because they want to protect spam and stuff and probably, not overly flood their servers, right? Not a bad thing, right? I honestly wish they would increase that number to like 5 in a 24-hour period, because I really want to start releasing 4 to 5 videos per day on this channel between live streams and pre-recorded videos. I really want to start giving you folks content all day, every day, from the moment you wake up till the afternoon, and to leave you on a good note in the evening. I really want to be the person that you can depend on when you're going through something. If you need some support emotionally, spiritually, mentally, right? I want to be there right by your side, because I've been through everything you've gone through or will be going through. I've experienced it all, folks, and I have a very thorough understanding of all this stuff. I want to be your motivational driving force. I want to be that person you can come to and count on when everyone else has given up on you. That's the kind of guy I am, right? And you see a guy like me, you see I'm stubborn, and you see that, I have my moments and this and that, right? Maybe you see me a little cocky, maybe a little arrogant at times. I really try not to be arrogant. I'm a cocky, funny guy. I'm going to say that. That's not that bad. But I'll be honest, there are times where, I can be a little arrogant. I don't like myself during those times, so I quickly, revert back from being arrogant. But you see a guy like me, and you would never think that I genuinely really care about people to the point of where if all other options fail and you're trying to accomplish something and you're looking for support, you can always count on me. You can always count on me. And there's somebody coming up this way, so I'm going to move. Oh, I think that's that woman that was walking the lower trail on the opposite side of the trail. This woman walks on the left side of trails. I think she's like from another country originally. Probably just used to doing that. Right there. Actually, she's on the right side, but that's a single track on the upper part right there. She's looking at her smartphone. When I'm on these damn hiking trails, like, the last thing I'm doing is looking at my smartphone every 5 minutes. I might check it every 20 or 30 minutes because I have an app running to see how far I've gone, except when I'm live on the air and doing pre-recorded videos. But besides that, there's no need for me to be looking at my damn phone while I'm on the trail every 5 minutes. It's starting to get a little bit dark. Well, the sun's going down. I have my shades on, so Yeah, folks, and here's the thing. I have those days sometimes, like today again. I almost thought of not doing my walk today. I was just kind of tired after the long day. I had a long day yesterday, even though I put out one video that I recorded earlier on in the week, but I didn't, you know, I hung out with my lady and I hung out with my brother. And, it was just a long day of talking and hanging out. It was fun. It was great. And my brother and I, we got some productive things done, but I was exhausted today. But I said, you know what? Fight through it, Eli. You happy with the way not only you look, but the way you feel? Yeah, push yourself and do that 4-mile walk. And don't go to the park, go to the actual trail and get more of a workout today. You'll feel a lot better afterwards. Even though right now you're feeling like you don't want to do it. I'm so glad I did. I feel amazing right now. And I know once I'm done, I'm going to feel even more amazing. I'm also going to feel accomplished. And that's part of the thing, folks. When you push yourself to do things that mean something to you and that are important, right? When you push yourself and then you actually get that thing done that you push yourself, you feel accomplished. And that keeps you moving forward. It drives you forward. Alex the Beer Master, good afternoon, Eli, my friend. Hey, Alex, how you been, man? Nice to see you here, bro. What's been going on with you lately, dude? I know you've been doing some live streams and stuff with your brothers, but happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. I would love to do some shows with you, brother, and stuff. Lewis Fuller, I got him a Wi-Fi extender. He has working internet now, and we're going to start doing some things. But I really want to start spreading the love. I really want to start helping the small YouTuber community where I met all you guys from in the ways we used to help each other. Years ago, we all had some great traction, and some things happened. Some things happened with these trolls and haters that you're aware of, Alex. You saw what happened. That kind of got things derailed. But Alex, I don't know if you paid attention, but I've completely moved on past these trolls and haters. For the last year plus, I haven't said a damn thing. I mean, I use it for example purposes every now and then, but it's like I've moved on. I don't let it get to me, and I'm just focused on my own content. But what about yourself, bro? Happy Thanksgiving to you, Eli, my friend. Yeah, again, same to you, brother. Same to you, Alex. Yeah, and I know you were doing some live streams, like I said, Alex. But over the last week or two, I have not been really able to follow that much with the people I care for, because I've been really focused on restructuring my stuff and getting some pre-recorded videos out, and it's been a lot of work. But yeah, let me know what's been going on with you. And yeah, I think you're still in the Facebook group page, or the Facebook private messenger chat behind the scenes, the Coach Eli moderator chat on Facebook Messenger. And so, yeah, feel free to, chat it up there anytime, bro. Anything you need, let us know. We're here to help. We've had a lot of things that have passed through that group, and Dion is a great guy you should connect with if you haven't. Dion, a.k.a. Sifu Smo, SIFU space SMO. He's a great 30-year-old gentleman from New York. Yes, I am. I still am. Okay. I think that's what she wrote. All right, give me a second here. All right. We're getting towards the tail end of the trail. I actually really love doing this trail because it's like an out and back. It's just over 4 miles, like 4.25 miles from my car to the end part and then back to my car. It's like 4.25 miles. And the days where I can do 4 miles or over 4 miles, I even feel more accomplished. If I do at least 3 miles of walking each day, I'm satisfied. If I do 4+ miles, I feel like a rock star. Because how many people can come out here and say that they work full time and they can walk at least 4 miles a day or do 4 miles worth of calorie burning exercises every day? How many people can actually stick to that, right? It's not easy, folks. I'll tell you that. It's not easy. So yeah, like I said, YouTube only allows 3 notifications in a 24-hour period. That's before Alex came on in here. Sorry, folks, I got thrown off for a second, but I wanted to say hi to Alex. It is 4:54 p.m. Nightbot just made a posting and it showed me the time. So it's going to start getting dark soon, but that's okay. We're off the part of the trail. We'll be off the part of the trail soon where there will be lights, so it's not going to matter. It doesn't get totally dark probably until about 5:20 or 5:30, so we're still okay. Right now we've got the auto exposure, the low light compensation kicking in on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Very, very pleased with this phone, even after a year. Very, very pleased with it. No problems. No problems at all. We got some dogs running around. It's those little dogs that have the small dog complex. Kind of like, smaller guys have small man's complex, right? You get these little dogs that have the complex, right? And they got the biggest mouths, right? But literally, like they'll come up to me and start barking at me at times, right? Really loud. And I'm like, what are you gonna do? I'm like 30 times, 40 times your size. You're gonna bark me to death or what? I'm like, what the hell, right? And the little female ones we're not gonna go there. I think you know where I want to go with the little teeny tiny female dogs, right? All right, we're gonna keep this professional, respectful, and mature today. Everyone knows what a female dog is, right? And everyone knows what the male dog is, right? We can just say that, the stud, right? Stud. I gotta share the story again. Until I got out of high school, I didn't even know why guys were called studs. I had no idea that a stud was a male dog that impregnates the bitch, the female dog, right? I didn't know why guys were called studs. Now, everyone knew why, sometimes women would be called the B word, right? Because a bee, bitch is a female dog, right? But I didn't know. I didn't really know where calling the jockey men that would get all the women and bang all the women, they would call those guys studs, right? And as I got older, I'm like, oh, okay, the stud is the male dog. Okay. That's what it is, right? It reminds me of a story. My current woman, when I share some stories of my ex, she doesn't really mind, except, when I share some stories, some particular stories. But I'm going to share it anyway. One of my exes had a female black lab. People that have been following me for a while know who I'm talking about. Her name was Mabel, 60-pound, beautiful black lab. I've shared the story in the past, but it's buried somewhere, right? It makes sense to share it now. And when Mabel was a younger dog, like 4 or 5 or something, right? Dana, well, that was my ex Dana. She had Mabel, what do you call it, spayed. They spay the women, they spay the female dogs, they neuter the male dogs. So she had Mabel spayed, right? And they were at the park. She was at the park with her kids and Mabel was just playing around, and this stud just comes up behind Mabel and starts trying to throttle her, and Mabel got really angry and bit the stud. And I remember when Dana was telling me the story, I was like, oh wow, that doesn't sound like Mabel's like the nicest, sweetest dog, but I guess when she has to defend herself, that's what she uses, those big, huge choppers, the teeth, right? I thought that was funny. Some stud tried to throttle my ex's dog, my ex's female dog that was already spayed, so she couldn't get pregnant anyways. So I guess it would just be recreational, right? But studs and female dogs, they don't do it recreationally. They do it to make puppies. Oh man. Sometimes I just kill myself. So yeah, folks, it's let me speak honestly here at the end of this stream. I'm going to be going off the air in about 10 to 12 minutes. I'll be back at my car in about 10 to 12 minutes. I'm on the paved path of this trail, and so yeah, I'm not too far from my car. I walk around and then walk back to the athletic club, and my car's parked over there. But let me speak honestly here. There is a lot of competition in the industry they create content for. And it's not easy to stand out. It's not easy to trigger the YouTube algorithm. It's just, there's a lot of competition, right? And I don't even look at it as competition, but that's just what it is, right? So, I've been, I still follow a lot of, great channels that share, how to get more views and all that type of stuff, right? Like Think Media and all that, right? And it's funny, a lot of those channels, like from the past, I used to create that content, either don't create as much content or they don't create any content at all. Kind of like video creator named Schmoyer, and I haven't seen him put out anything in a while. Same thing with I can't remember what his name is. But there are a couple other creators that have been creating YouTube self-help content that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they're not creating as much anymore because it's been kind of played out, right? But the one that keeps going, which I respect the most, is Think Media with Sean Cannell. I respect Sean Cannell probably more than any other creator on YouTube that creates, how-to videos and all that stuff. I really respect him. I see a lot of the same entrepreneurial spirit in him as I've always had. I know his story because he's explained it, and I've watched so many of his videos. But, he says, and some other people have said in the past, you got to stand out. You got to be different. You got to do something. Nothing wrong with doing something in a similar industry, but you got to do it different than anyone else. You got to do it much more differently than anyone else has done it, right? And everything I've done has been done before. Don't get me wrong, and I have my own spin on things, but still, that's not good enough. So we're going to continue adding more to it. We're gonna continue to make more and more content, like I said, to the point of where you might be getting 4 to 5 pieces of content from me per day right here on this channel. Now I've got another channel. Oh, it's not a channel, but I've got another venture somewhere else where I've already created a bunch of videos for men, right? And I'm still waiting to release that. That probably won't get released till the end of the year or the beginning of the new year. But again, I want to make Coach Eli a household name, not because of the fame, because I know I can help people. I know that what I talk about and what I've been through can help you folks better yourselves. You can learn from my mistakes and you can learn to become successful much faster than I did initially in my younger days, right? And other aspects as an entrepreneur. I've done it all. I've been there. I've done that. I've documented a lot of it too. What a lot of people don't realize, even in my early days of being an entrepreneur 15 years ago, I used to run networking events. I have other YouTube channels where I've recorded hundreds of public speakers, right? I've got so much content and so much knowledge and experience, not only personally, you know, regarding dating and marriage aspects, but professionally too. Professionally, not only at an entrepreneurial level, like I've been doing for the last 15 years, I've worked in the corporate world. I've run businesses for other people and been in managerial positions for other people in the corporate world for almost 17 years. I've got the knowledge and experience. I've been through all the BS. I know all about the BS. And I also know how to handle it. And there is a right and a wrong way to handle it, right? The way you feel like handling it sometimes is giving them a piece of your mind, right? Or maybe shoving your foot up their ass, right? But that's not the right way to handle it. Because number one, you'll get fired. Number two, maybe you'll get arrested. Number three, there's no turning back from that. If you do stupid things like that, the way you handle things like that, as you say, it is what it is. That's a short version of the answer. But you basically say it is what it is. And if something's not working out for you when you're working for somebody else, right? Start looking for another job and put in your 2 weeks. And at that point, you might have some bargaining power. If not, you'll find a better job that'll hopefully, you know, be better for you and to you, right? That's just one brief aspect there of the experience I've had. And I've made so many mistakes, folks. I've made so many mistakes. Lots of them. Anyone that's become successful in life at anything has first made tons and tons of mistakes for a long time. There's not a single soul on the planet, whether they're a man or a woman, that got lucky and became successful without making a ton of mistakes first. I am the king of mistakes. I'm owning it. I am the king of mistakes, which also is going to make me the king of coaching. I'm not trying to sound cocky or conceited or arrogant by saying that. But folks, some of the best coaches out there coach based on their past experiences. They coach based on the infinite amount of mistakes that they've made. That's how I am. And I do it because I don't want people to make the same mistakes I made. I want you to, I wouldn't say necessarily want it to be a hell of a lot easier for you to the point of where you get lazy, but I want you to have more of a fair shot, which is a better way to put it. Have more of a fair shot of accomplishing things without having to go through all the red tape I went through. But I figured it out. And that's why I do what I do, so I can help you folks figure it out much quicker than I did. So you don't waste time, money, and energy. You focus your time, money, and energy on productive things, and you remove it from things that are not productive, that are not going to get you anywhere. It's time to take off the glasses. We're at 110 minutes, which is an hour and 50 minutes. I think I started at about 3:10, so it's probably after 5 o'clock right now. Right now it's probably about 5:05. Give me a second. You see, lights are on here. I'm beginning to feel a few little droplets of mist. I don't know if it's going to rain or not, but I'm looking at myself and the phone now, and I'm just really impressed by the auto exposure, the low light compensation. The picture still looks pretty good. I actually like how it looks right now. Sun's gone down. There's still enough light where you can see me, but it's not overly bright. It's really cool. Maybe one day the YouTube app for live streaming will get some cool filters to where it can lower the brightness and give you a cool look like this even in the middle of the day. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, it's just a nice hotel out here. I believe it's a Marriott. That's beautiful, isn't it? I'm just really super glad I did this walk today. When I almost just said screw it, I'm just gonna relax. Folks, even I, as experienced as I am, get those moments where I just feel like doing nothing at times. Oh my God, you can hear it, Listen. Look. Come on. We just heard you're calling, you're duck calling. Look at how many there are. Oops. Wow. That's a beautiful shot. If I wasn't recording, oh, Alex just posted 4:57 p.m. And Eli, thank you for your support, my friend, regardless. Absolutely, Alex. I'd like to support you at a greater level, Alex. I really would like to start doing some live stream panels with you and some other people. It's just really hard. It's really hard to get normal people to do live stream panels. But the interesting thing is, if you want to talk about drama, it's easy to find drama panels. Like drama panels, you can find them any night on any given channel, right? But if you want to find a live stream panel that's productive and positive in nature, or you try to create one, like it's like harder than pulling teeth to put that together. This damn world loves drama too much. I can't stand drama. The only drama I like is maybe police drama and stuff like that, like action adventure type of stuff, right? What I don't like is like drama on YouTube. People like instigating fake drama just to get views. Just like the mainstream media does with Real Housewives of Orange County, Real Housewives of New Jersey, or whatever, county they're in, right? Those women are getting paid to act. Now, granted, they may be acting genuinely to a certain point, but then they're told to amp things up a little bit more for the camera. Remember, you're getting paid for this. Amp it up a little bit. Let's take two on that, right? I can't stand that type of drama. Well, Eli, I have been doing Food Fridays on my channel for 2 years, and I love doing it. I've never had a problem. Well, how about your growth, Alex? Are you anywhere close to getting monetized, or does it not matter to you? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Just curious. And no, you've been good at avoiding the trolls, bro. I do have to say that they did try to get to you initially when you connected with me. Like whenever anyone new tried to connect with me, there are a few people that are just really obsessed with me, and they just have nothing better to do than to attack anyone that I'm connected with or will connect with. But you handle it quite well, bro. I appreciate that. I really do. It's beautiful. This is a nice time to end the walk because it's just when the sun goes down. I'm sure many of you have seen pictures of this. This is the Shore Center right over there. Now I know over here there's like EA Arts, Electronic Arts. I believe their corporate headquarters is out here. And I think there's like a super fast 5G plus millimeter wave cell tower out here that lets you get gigabit speed from the cell tower. If not, you're just on regular 5G, where you get like normal speeds like you did with 4G and LTE. But AT&T is expanding their 5G plus millimeter wave multi-gigabit per second upstream and downstream to areas that need more bandwidth, like stadiums and large downtown areas like in San Francisco, San Jose, and other busy cities. But there will never be millimeter wave 5G plus multi-gigabit, cell service everywhere. It's going to be in areas that need it, and the other areas, that don't need it. You don't really need constant gigabit internet to run stuff. So anyway, 286 subscribers. Well, we got to help you grow that. I think you have grown some, Alex. I think you've grown some since I met you. All right, I'm waiting for these people to go. Anyway, folks, get your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. We're about to go off the air, heading back to my car. It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night. I'm glad I have my jacket on because it's probably below 60 degrees right now. It was pretty cold last night. It got into the 40s here in the Bay Area, and it's probably going to get there again tonight. But right now with my jacket on and walking, I don't feel hot or cold. I feel pretty good. Well, like I said, I enjoy it, and if I get monetized, that's fine. If I don't, that's fine too, but I'm going to keep trying either way. I'm going to enjoy it no matter what. Instead of white, you wrote white, but you meant what? It's all right, bro. That's a great attitude to have, Alex the Beer Master. And, that's the same attitude that I have. Just keep pushing forward, man. So, folks, like I said, it's going to get to the point of where I may even start putting out 4 or 5 pieces of content per day. I don't know. I may start even doing that sometime this week. I've just got to find a way to, keep putting out. I want to keep putting out these short videos at 4K 60 frames per second. And while I figured out a system to get 5 of those videos done in a week, it still takes time to render those out with a fast i9 processor with 64 gigs of RAM and all that. Like literally each one of those clips that I put out that are 10 to 15 minutes long at 4K 60, they literally take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to render out. Primarily, it's because I have the lower third and it has to do some extra processing, but that's actually pretty fast. But it still takes time. And to add twice as many videos, you're looking at, I'm going to be rendering 5-6 hours a day. If that's what it's going to take for me to get this channel where it needs to go and to stand out to the point of where, the YouTube algorithm takes me seriously, then that's what I got to do, because I truly want to help as many people as possible get the best possible grips on their life. I care about you all, folks. I'm not saying I'm all that, but I really do care about each and every one of you. Even if you don't care about me, I know there are lots of people that are just unhappy deep within. And it's not that they don't care about me. They just are unhappy at anyone that's happier than them. And that's happened to all of us. I've been, I felt that way in my younger days at times. I used to project. I know what projecting is, so I understand when it's done to me on the flip side, right? But I truly do want to help as many people as possible. And I'm going to keep on pushing forward and keep on pumping out more and more content. Now, my views have not increased since I've been pumping out more content, but I've only been doing it for 3 weeks. I got to keep going, and I'm going to keep going by adding more. And maybe my views still won't increase, but maybe when I increase it 5-fold, maybe at that point, maybe, right? And if not, we're going to keep going. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep putting out content until it gets there. And that's what I suggest you folks do. Don't give up on your goals, dreams, aspirations, and passions. If you really believe in yourself, you'll eventually get there. With that being said, I want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you to Alex the Beer Master. Thank you to Lewis Fuller that was here earlier, and anyone else watching behind the scenes. We're wrapping this up at 122 minutes, which is 2 hours and 2 minutes. I will not be back for a stream. There will be no more videos here tonight. Tomorrow, I've got my first of 5 pre-recorded Walking with Purpose videos at 4K 60 frames per second. The first one will be released late morning, early afternoon if you're here in the US, and they'll be coming all week. And by later tonight, after I talk with my lady and I take an Epsom salt bath, I will figure out what I'm going to do for the following week. I may not even do the Walking with Purpose videos pre-recorded next week. I may do car chat instead, or driving with purpose. And I'm probably also going to start before bedtime with Eli this week. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm doing it all myself and in high quality. And I do have a couple laptops. And it's not, I can actually, even when I render with my laptop, it has so much power, I can still multitask and render at full speed on my new laptop. That's not the problem. The problem is it still takes time and effort to render these videos. I'm already feeling, I'll tell you folks, I'm already feeling, stretched pretty thin. I'm about to stretch myself even thinner because I really, really want to make this happen. Have a good one, folks. We'll see you all tomorrow. Probably do another Walking with Purpose live tomorrow. And I'll update you folks at that point. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye. We're out.